Okay, so you've entered into the app. Now the task for this app,
Yeah.
for this task, sorry, this scenario, this prototype, is with the system is we're going to assume that as you went through the first one, you added a trip.
Yep.
So now we actually want to make use of that trip. Now the one thing that I'm going to say is that I guess once you've entered the trip using the trips menu, which we went through before. Right now, you're basically trying to register. You're trying to go somewhere, and I guess get there. I guess again, it's the home screen thing. Like if I said to you, okay, so you've added a trip, so like we did the first scenario, and then you went back to this screen and you wanted to use the application. How would you think you would go about it? I guess.
Yeah, but clicking get there.
So you just. Would it be because, why would you click get there? Is it because, like, what would be the reasoning?
Because it's more along the lines of me wanting to get somewhere and it says get there, so you just assume it's the right one.
Okay. So but you would be...
Word choice.
Okay, so potentially I might have fucked it up by actually telling you that it was okay. So that's okay. So potentially I guess if you didn't know and you had the thing for the first time and you had figured out how to do the trip, and at this stage
I'd click on my trips and assume that it was already saved in there.
Okay.
So I'd click on it. So which one's the right one?
In the system that the current form that we've designed, the functionality of defining a trip is in trips. When you're actually going somewhere, it's then another get there. But I can see from your feedback that it's not actually clear because there's no implicit assumption about what it means. Like but that's okay. I mean, we're testing the prototype there. So So go ahead, I guess.
Yeah. So get there.
Yes. That's the only help I'm going to give you. I'm not allowed to.
Select your trip.
Yeah, that's another thing. I will tell you that actually the trip that you've created before, there's 4 of them, and the one that you're undertaking at the moment is trip 1.
Yeah.
Now, okay. What do you see on this screen? Talk me through what you see on this screen.
So I see 4 trips and percentages next to them, and where they're going to, I assume.
Now, in the last one, you created a trip that we made you enter as work trip or something.
Yeah.
If you saw the same, I guess when you were identifying trips that you've entered into the system, what would be the clearest way for you to identify them? In this case, we've just written trip 1, trip 2, trip 3, trip 4, because you've never entered that has no meaning for you. What would be something meaningful?
A name that I'd given it when I'd saved the trip. Yeah.
Any other information you would want to see on that? So if in the last one, for example, we made you put
maybe
it as work
image?
normal. So if you had work normal.
Maybe an image, I guess. Maybe on the. Or have it like sorted from my most used trips to least.
Okay. Any other comments on the screen?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'll just say click trip 1 to Sydney, because I'm trip 1. This action will make you visible to others for this trip. Yeah, proceed. Trip underway. Where am I going? So I'm going to just ping all, just for the fun of it. And that functionality is not available at the moment.
Actually, we're going to infer. What happens is when you ping all, what will happen is that those little men icon, they will change. So considering that you clicked ping all, if I may have the phone, I'll set it up to show you what actually has happened when you click that. Okay, now, in this case, now what I'd like to assume is actually that what's happened is, if you just hold that for a second, let me explain where it's come back to.
Yeah.
What has happened is you as you said, you hit ping all.
Yeah.
So what I've done is I've skipped a few screens that would normally come up if you're pinging individual people. And in this case, what's happened is everyone's being pinged, and then what's happened is someone has pinged you back. And so you can assume that you hit ping and then waited 5 minutes or 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And now this has appeared on your phone. So it's vibrated. And as I've handed it to you there is what's happened 5 minutes later.
Yep, yep.
So
I'm just going to click on pings because I assume someone's responded, so I want to know who it was. And that function's not available at the moment.
if you click actions, for now that'll take you to the screen that pings should take you to.
Okay. Yeah, nice.
And so the idea is now, I'll give you more information to do with your situation, is that, I mean, in this case, you're trying to leave at around 9 o'clock, 9 p.m., so it knows that on the trip, that your trip 1 that we've selected, that you're trying to leave at 9 p.m., and thus it's given you some choices of people around the area who you could potentially get a lift with.
Okay.
Now, that's pretty much what, you know, is situational. Question is for you, if you could let me know what you see on the screen there a little bit, and, and what you think about that, if you saw that knowing what I've just told you.
So I can see pictures of the people I can potentially have a lift with. I can assume see a time next to the name, which could be what time they're available or what time they're leaving for the trip. I see an F next to Pete, which I assume means he's also got Facebook. I can also see a smiley face next to Pete, which could mean that he's got good reviews for getting trips with him, or that's all I can assume it means. So there's like an eBay power seller, but like a trip power seller. I can also see the location where they're at, where they're coming from, I assume, not where they're going. Or actually where they currently are. And I think I've got the option to ping them or ping all of them. So for example, I'm just going to try and ping Mary now.
Okay, that's actually not hooked up, but what has happened is, what will happen is that you can assume that there's, what's happened as a result is that this section here has changed, and you now get a blue icon like this, a blue button, but with the ping icon, which is a little flag, just there, because that's acknowledging that you've pinged her. So let's assume that's happened. And so Mary's got a blue icon here with a little flag on it. He remains the same here with the smiley face, and these remain the same.
What does the smiley face mean?
I can't actually tell you that at the end. Obviously, were you asking? Knowing that the meaning is unclear, I've noted that down, and obviously, you know, that's a point of failure really on the interface.
All right, I clicked on Pete and the smiley face, and his profile's come up.
And just so you know, we weren't able to put scroll or swiping or anything into the prototype. So anytime, you know, it's a scroll interaction is defined there, which is potentially like not the best way to test, but just so you know, there is a scrolling action there.
I assume the smiley face next to the thing means that he can...
Okay, yep.
So
May I ask you something?
Yeah.
What do you think is happening on Pete's end at the moment?
No, he's getting like someone is viewing your profile thing.
Mm-hmm.
And so he's got some indication that someone is viewing his trip.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Or nothing at all.
Okay. At this stage, do you have in your testing thing? Do you think you have to do anything further, or?
Yeah, because I haven't actually confirmed that I'm going with Pete. I was just clicking on it to see what his trip would be like.
Okay.
So there should be some sort of button that says, like, confirm a trip with Pete. And then Pete would have to get a message saying, blah, 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 wants to confirm this trip with you. Do you accept? And then hit accept. And then you'd be notified saying, trip's on.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yep. That's actually, I think that's the end. You can probably click I'm here, or maybe it might not be hooked up, but that's definitely the end.
Okay, yep, I'm here.
Thank you.